Ms. Erickson, are you here?
I am.
Oh, please. And if you could move the podium however you want. If you want to address the audience, it's up to you.
I'll take it like
Or
this.
okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. The next item on the agenda is a moment in history, the legacy of Alfonso Iannelli, presented by, is Annie Erickson? The agenda says Anna. It's Annie, right?
It's Annie.
It is Annie. Okay. Annie Erickson,
Okay.
who,
So excuse me while I start getting prepared here.
okay, well, I'll do some filler.
All right.
Annie is one of my favorite people in the city because even though she's not as old as the rest of us, she's taken a great interest in Park Ridge history, and she's doing her best to spread the gospel of Park Ridge history through the town. And it's people like Annie that help us carry on our history to future generations. So we're glad to have her. Is that enough filler?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, wonderful.
All right, good evening. My name is Annie Erickson. I'm a member of the Kalo Foundation. I'm a commissioner on the Historic Preservation Commission. And tonight, I'm representing the City Centennial Planning Committee. Now, I hope all of you are aware that the City of Park Ridge is in the midst of celebrating its 100 years of being incorporated as a city. And if you aren't aware, well, welcome. Join the party. Happy birthday, Park Ridge. So for the past few city council meetings, we've had a couple other members on the City Centennial Planning Committee trying to spice up these city council meetings by sharing some riveting moments in Park Ridge history. And tonight, I shall try to do the same. So, let's get started. Does everyone have one of these?
Yes.
Hold them up if you got them. Okay, and if you don't have one, make friends with your neighbor and share. Okay. Let's all look at the cover. All right. I've got a question. Is anybody familiar with the artist on here?
Rockwell.
There's a hint. It's in the bottom right-hand corner. Here, who is anybody? Who is the artist on the cover?
Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell. And what is he famous for? Do I have any? The Evening Post. And yes, but he was able to capture and depict the everyday essences of American life during the 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s. Okay, now I want to direct your attention to the focal point in the cover here. What do you guys see? Shout it out. I know it's a little obvious. Okay, Truman and Dewey, that's a good answer. Literally right at the center of the cover.
After the toaster, I think.
There's a toaster! And if you look in the background behind the toaster,
There's a coffee
check out that Mackie coffee pot.
Yes, that's right.
You guys see that? Well, guess what? That's not just any ordinary toaster. That is the 1939 T9 Sunbeam toaster, which at the time was the most popular toaster from 1939 all the way through the 1950s, marking it as a signature relic of post-World War II America. And, oh, its design, it just happened to be created by a citizen of Park Ridge named Alfonso Iannelli. Now, I know a lot of you are already aware of the famous artist Alfonso Iannelli, who was a dynamic artist and sculptor who lived over 45 years in town, right on the corner of Elm and Northwest Highway. And we most commonly think of him associated with designing the interior of the Pickwick, the relief sculpture, the Rock of Gibraltar, on the Prudential Building downtown on Michigan Avenue, doing the bronze metalwork, zodiac signs in the Alder Planetarium. Oh, you know, collaborating with Frank Lloyd Wright, Bruce Goff, Edgar Milton. I mean, I could go on and on. But let's look at Iannelli in the context of our lives today. What did he do? So can I get a show of hands? How many of you used a hairdryer today? Mr. Mayor? Okay, this one goes for the alderman.
You're
Can you
grounded.
recall the last time you were at the barber shop and they used kind of electronic clipper to trim and style your hair for the next meeting? Or how about this? Do you guys know any fans of mashed with potatoes at all, where you have to use a handheld mixer to actually make it happen?
I have that.
Wow. Okay, now, so once you look through, I want everybody to kind of look through the packet here.
The design
Does-
isn't too terribly different from that.
Does the first page of a hairdryer look rather familiar? I want you to flip again and see where actually that design was patented right here in Park Ridge, Illinois. That's pretty cool. This all comes from googlepatents.com, great website, and this is just a small sampling of Iannelli's patented commercial designs. So what's the big deal? Why does this even matter, you ask? Well, I am so glad you're asking. Because recognizing Iannelli's patented commercial designs are important for one, it reveals the spectrum of Iannelli's diversity as an artist. It would be easy to classify him as kind of this all-star artist, where kind of a Renaissance man, where he wasn't just a painter, but he was also a sculptor, a metalsmith, an inventor, and a commercial designer. And not just any commercial designer. We're talking about a commercial designer who created designs for mass-produced goods that ended up not only helping to create, but shape post-World War II culture of American society that is being taught in high school classes today. And I know that because I am studying to be a high school history teacher. So, but that's really not all. What does that have to do with right here and right now in 2011? Take a look at Iannelli's designs and see how they endure into their everyday lives right now in 2011. As a young person, and as an historian, I've always been fascinated by the things that appear timeless. When something is timeless, it doesn't matter how old you are. The gap between generations ceases to exist. More importantly, things that are timeless hold the power to unite. How neat is it that Iannelli's patented commercial designs can still be recognized today? Simple hairdryer, handheld mixer, electronic clipper, coffee pot.
Oh, coffee pots.
I mean, I can just go on and on. But let alone, you can trace the roots of these designs to a little city upon a hill that I call home in Park Ridge, Illinois. So when you're thinking about ways to engage the community and ways to make Park Ridge a more special place to live and a more worthwhile place to visit, I want you to think about how we as a community have the opportunity to save the Iannelli Studios, where all of these ideas happened, right here in Park Ridge, on the corner of Northwest Highway and Elm Street, and transform it into a multicultural center to build more awareness of our city's heritage and to inspire young people to carry on the legacy. Thank you. Thank you.
She's got so much vitality. I love this word.
That's exuberance. A lot of it. Thanks, Annie.